Everyone, you've been waiting nearly 40 minutes for this moment. Some of you have been waiting since yesterday afternoon for this moment, and it's time to get to the main event. Even though this isn't our last segment, this is the main event of today's episode, and it is the fact that the 49ers beat the Eagles 23-19 in Philadelphia. I'm going to start things off by saying that I'm going to go last on this one because I do have some things prepared to say. But before we get to me and Toddy, we got to hear from the Eagles fans first. Or Kevin, since last week you wanted to flip-flop, should we sandwich the two Eagles fans in the middle and hear all the excuses in the middle and hear from the 49ers fans first and last? What do you think we should do?
Well, since you already clapped last, I think we should just go every other. So you can either pick the guy that gave you money or the guy that just gives you shit. And then Toddy will go, and then the next one will go, and then you'll go.
All right. You know what? Kaz Johnson, just casually last week, you said, let's get the excuses ready. So let's hear your excuses for the Eagles. And also, Kaz, you threw me off. You confused me earlier because I sent the rundown in the group chat, and then I got an identical message back, and I was like, did he react to the message? Like, because I was looking at it on my watch, and I was like, did he react to the message? Like, what happened? And then I scrolled through it, and I was like, oh, he changed it to Eagles beat Eagles. Oh, so the Niners get no credit. Got you. So, Kaz, since you told us to get our excuses ready, let's hear the ones that you have prepared.
I don't have
the Eagles losing to the 49ers 23-19.
I don't have an excuse for the reason why we lost, but what I will say is the reason why we lost. And the reason why we lost has nothing to do with your fucking team at all, man. Not even remotely close. It has nothing to do with fucking Shanahan, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy. Dude, fuck it. Here we go. A gold jacket. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I had to match the gold chain.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Look. It is what it is. The loss. Anybody with a fucking brain, or at least two brain cells, can look at that game and go, yeah, Philadelphia, you did that to yourselves. It's been all season long. It's been the offensive coordinator. We know that. We know it. It's not a secret. This isn't Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. No, the play calling sucks. It's been proven on Next Gen Stats with every goddamn podcaster that's out there, every analyst, every sports take person. I'm talking like TikTokers up to the big dogs like Stephen A. Smith. They're like, yo, what the fuck are we doing here in Philadelphia? Okay, let's just start there and stop right there. Still no excuse. We lost the game. What I will say is there was nothing that the 49ers half-ass team did that made me go, damn, man, we just can't beat this team. What the? Not a single thing. Now, you already mentioned before George Kittle went out, okay? And I'm a former athlete, okay? I never wish injuries on anybody. That I'm a lover of the game first before I am of my team winning. I want to beat teams at their best. You guys have had the team that you've had all season long with a lot of injuries. You know that. You mentioned, I think it was last week or whenever we had our last podcast. But you mentioned, like, hey, is Shanahan really that guy? Because clearly we're still winning. We're in contention for the number 1 seed at that. And we're in a division with 2 other teams that are in the playoffs. So, I mean, I do give credit to you guys. Outside of this fucking game, this had nothing to do with y'all. So you're right. I'm not. Toddy shakes his head, bro. I'm not giving our credit. No, I'm not. There's nothing that I saw this game where I was like, you know what? Man, they're better than us. Not even close. Not even close. Philadelphia is in hell right now. Okay. Philadelphia is it's like having the dickhead prom king and the fucking hot cheerleader who's a gossip queen with a bunch of bad friends, but they're dating and it works, but they're terrible together. That's us. That's it. Okay. I want you to really think about that. It's like, oh, well, they look good together. Look at them. Prom king and prom queen. But then she's in the bathroom, makeup going down her face, crying because boyfriend's a dickhead. He's out here sleeping with her best friend who's a nerd. It's terrible in Philadelphia. Everything in Philadelphia is bad right now, bro. That's it. And everything that we do from offense, and I want defense played just fine, but offensively for sure, coaching, offensive coordinator, it's that same story. It's that prom king, prom queen, and they don't even deserve to be together. And we seen it all season long. And right now we look at what happened and go, I mean, I'm not sure what Kevin's going to say, but I'll tell you right now. I'll say it right now. There was nothing that we did that helped our team. And I don't honestly believe that the 49ers just out. You guys had fucking practice squad guys on your defense. This is AJ fucking Brown, Devonta Smith, Heisman Trophy winner, a guy who's had nothing but repeat 1,000-yard seasons in Philadelphia since leaving Tennessee. Before that, he had 1,000 yards. This is the truth. The truth hurts. This is why you guys are not going to make it any much further than probably next round. Not to be that guy. I'm trying to be as real as possible. So kudos to you guys. Yeah, yes, please clip that. Please clip that. Kudos to you guys for going to Philadelphia, doing what the Bears did to us, doing what the Broncos did to us. It's a story as old as time, bro. Look at the fucking Eagles, man. Look at us. Look at us. Watch that game. And I want you guys to confidently, with your chest out, say, we were better than them. I don't think that either you
we
or
were
Todd
better than them.
You cannot say that, and you don't believe that for shit.
I knew that was
You don't
coming.
believe
it
that.
1,000%.
You don't believe that for shit. There's no way you watched the same game I watched.
Cass,
And you
I
lose-
believe that.
And
just
you
as
lost
much as I
George
believe
Kittle. And you lose George Kittle in like the second quarter, I think it was. And you mean to tell me, like, yeah, we have the team to beat the Eagles. Get the fuck out of here, man. That's crazy. But you know what? What I will say is this, to end it on a very realistic, very non-biased, very positive note. You guys did what you need to do to win the fucking game. It's that simple. You can't, as someone who's been there and done that, Kevin, I hope you relate. I'm not sure what you're going to say. Kevin might say the complete opposite. No, fuck it. Hey, that's on us to get our locker room together. That's on us to get AJ Brown the ball when he wants it. That's on us to you know what I'm saying, get Saquon Barkley to do what he's supposed to be doing. That's on us to get Nick Sirianni, Howie Roseman to check this bitch Nick Sirianni, all right, and say, hey man, get these guys under control. That's on us to get rid of Kevin Patullo early on in the season when he was already showing signs of being a bad offensive coordinator. That's on us. No one else. You guys came into Philadelphia and said, you know what? These guys are beatable. They're beatable. All we got to do is make sure that we make less mistakes than them. And that's exactly what you guys did. So obviously I take my hat off to you guys. Win's a win. It is what it is. I'm not making no excuses. And I said that right in the comment section of that YouTube short with that fucking lame fucker who keeps calling me out. Okay. Whoever he is, he can, let me just hold my tongue. Anyways, what's your excuses? I never said I was going to make excuses. I said y'all was going to make excuses after your loss. We're going to take this shit to the chin. That's it. So I'm going to take this loss. It is what it is. But I dare a 49ers fan to sit here and tell me, yeah, we were the better team.
They're going to do it again, Cass.
Yeah, we were the better team.
That's all I got, though. Shout out to the Niners, man. Good luck next round. I'll be seeing here soon on the same couch.
Well, we see Sal on Instagram say, kudos to the Niners. Can't wait to play again next season with a more competent offensive coordinator. And that Niner chick, a.k.a. T, check out T's Treats as well. She says, for real, I know the champs was hurt. This was a tough loss. It certainly was for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we see Cousin James in the comments. Cousin Julian, who's a Cowboys fan, says, as a division rival, it put a smile on my face to see the Eagles lose. Go Cowboys, as he was hate watching, just like Uncle Manny. And DFS Whisperer says Falcons winning the Cancun Bowl. But Cousin James most recently said, we're a team. The Eagles aren't a team. They're a group full of egos. What a great comment. The Philadelphia Egos. I love it. That's perfect. I love it. The Philadelphia Eagles.
That is actually funny. That's fucking hilarious because it's true. Goddamn.
Fucking AJ Brown is one of the biggest egos out there of the Philadelphia Egos, or Eagles.
Before we pass it to Toddy, I have to defend myself in the comments because James is having one of those moments. We're all taking turns here. Kevin's not just mute. Kevin's waiting his turn. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that before
he's charging up, bro.
Saying Kevin's not saying shit. Cat don't charging up. I just want everyone to know that. I'm waiting my turn patiently.
Hey, man. Kevin is being a respectful co-host, and we appreciate him for that. Everyone has their turn. The only thing I'll say in response to everything Kaz said, and Kaz, I really try not to interrupt people, but I couldn't help myself. You were asking.
Nah, it's fair. It's fair, bro. It's fair. I'm talking my shit, and I mean it.
Yeah. And the one thing I have to respond to, though, is that you said that the 49ers fans needed to get their excuses ready because you had no excuses, but that was nothing but excuses right there. As now we'll pass it off over to Mr. Jaevon Toddy, who has also been waiting very patiently. And so, Toddy, you and I were on FaceTime yesterday with Ali right after the game, and we were saying, man, we can't wait. We cannot wait for tomorrow. Some would say, Jaevon, that you and I have been waiting years for this moment since that NFC Championship game when Kevin unloaded the clip on us after that game. And so, and in the years since the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I've been showing respect all year long, saying the Eagles are the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champions. Well, that's coming to an end. Enjoy it. And Kaz, enjoy that shot while it lasts. And so, Toddy, you've waited your turn. Now's your time. What was your reaction to your San Francisco 49ers beating the Eagles 23-19?
This is a delusion that I was expecting from Cass. This was what I was expecting to hear. He's falling in love with the idea of who his team is supposed to be. He's like, we got Saquon, we got AJ, you guys have, Dallas Goedert had 2 touchdowns in the game, and then you guys just magically stop throwing him the ball. Don't know why. Just stopped happening. Saquon Barkley had a 40-plus yard, one of his longest runs of the year in the first quarter. Stop giving him the ball. I don't know. And then A.J. Brown, obviously, he has, a couple of drops. He had a couple catches early on in the game, but for the most part, he wasn't really getting the ball thrown his way. I think something that got swept under the rug last week is what I said. It was one of the last things I said when we were previewing this game. I said coaching is going to be one of the biggest things when it comes down to this entire game. I said I'm taking Shanahan and Robert Saleh over Patullo and Big Fangio because Nick Sirianni doesn't really do anything. He's just a guy that's manages the game. You could argue what he does on the sideline. I don't know what he does.
He yelled at AJ Brown.
Yeah, he yelled at AJ Brown. I don't know what he does.
Get off the field.
What he does, but I said basically Kyle Shanahan dances circles around Kevin Patullo. I think we all can agree on that. Big Fangio, I think, is a very well respected DC in the game, but I'm taking Robert Saleh over him. They just have the player advantage, obviously, because most of our players are out due to injury. We were dealing with our 6th and 7th linebackers. Eric Kendricks had 10 tackles in this game. Eric Kendricks, who was probably supposed to be out of the league, had 10 tackles in this game. 2 tackles for loss, to be exact. And I just think when it came down to execution is something that was really important in this game. I don't feel like the Philadelphia Eagles executed when they needed to. I think their defense played really well. Quinyon Mitchell is really that guy. He's really a top 5 corner. He showed you why he was all pro. He single-handedly basically kept him in this game. I mean, Brock Purdy threw 2 bonehead. After the first pick, I was like, well, we should just stop throwing his way at this point. Get him in prime situations for them to be able to move the ball in the middle of the field, but we can't attack him. Especially when there was he had I think it was on the second pick, it was Tonjes that was on him. It was just a bad matchup. But as far as the game goes, I thought Brock played a hell of a game. Christian McCaffrey in the pass game is just insane. He could be a slot receiver if he really, really wanted to, and I'm just going to play receiver at this point. Demarcus Robinson, 6 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown. This guy is a guy that we signed in the offseason who was going to miss the first 3 games due to suspension. And I was like, well, usually when he gets back, I thought it would be like a really, really, really good number 3 for us. But he's been like a main target for us this entire tenure for the season, just due to the injuries. Jaevon Jennings, hell of a player. I mean, he had a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Was a 4-star recruit, and it was ranked higher than Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. And I want to say Sam Darnold was also in that class that he was ranked above at one point in time. This was Jaevon Jennings. He was ranked higher than these guys. You can look up on, I think it was Rivals, or it was 24/7 recruits. It's just insane. And I just think this 49ers team is just so special when it comes to the grit and toughness that they have to go through each and every week, because we don't know who's going to be popping up on the injury report. Obviously, this game, it was George Kittle who went out with, as Shaun, to our audio-only listeners, just showing you that Jaevon Jennings is literally ranked higher than, who is that? That's
Sam Darnold, Joe Burrow.
There we
I don't
go.
know who the Tennessee dude is.
Sam Darnold,
Lamar
Joe
Jackson.
Burrow, and Lamar Jackson, literally. So, and he plays as receiver for us, by the way. 7th-round pick. This team, man, is just, they have no quit in them. And for us to be playing for the number 1 seed 2 weeks ago with this roster is insane. Now, hopefully going into this week, we expect to get some good news, hoping that, yes, thank you, Cousin James. Garrett Waller was our leading tackler. I think he had 11 tackles, if I'm not mistaken. Another guy who was not on our roster a couple of weeks ago. I think I was talking to Kevin earlier this morning. I think we lost. This is the game we lose that made us lose Robert Saleh, which is going to probably be unfortunate. But when you win a game, when you go into hostile territory, you guys are a top 5 defense, Kevin, Kaz, top 5, top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate that. When you beat a team like that on the road with the weapons you have available, it's going to speak volumes. I think it's just, I don't know how Shanahan's not coach of the year. I don't know how you got to scheme it up. I understand what all the other guys are doing, but I'm just saying from a talent standpoint, it's just not even close. What's going on in San Francisco? So, yeah, Kevin. Last week he said that it was going to be belt to ass. I remember the last time he said that, and I was trying to warn him. Me and Shaun were trying to warn him, like, hey, remember the last time you said it was going to be this, that, and the third, but it ended up working out the other way for you. Same thing happened. A hard head is going to make a soft ass, as my dad always says. Kaz, jokingly, I wouldn't even say jokingly, he was hysterical when he said, "You guys think you have a fucking chance of winning this game?" I said, okay. Well, Kaz, man, we got to show the evidence on why you guys believe this is true. And I always just kept pointing out to the fact that their players are really, really good. We all understand how good their players are. That was never the question. It always came down to coaching. And we knew that Patullo was going to draw up a dog shit game plan to figure out a way for them to lose. It was the writing was on the wall the entire game. We all knew it was coming. I mean, we just were never really scared of going to the link. We have experience going there and winning. Actually going in there and winning by a large margin. It kind of just, I think our coach is the best coach in the league, and our team doesn't reflect us. We don't have the best team in the league, but we have the best coaching staff in the league, and that can get us to places that might look like, how are you guys doing this when you guys have this available? we're like the hot rapper that's getting into clubs when they're like really young without ID. And they're like, well, hey, I know that you're not over 21, but you're here. So, I mean,
Another great analogy by
Toddy.
Toddy.
Season, I really just enjoyed just me and Kevin, just had a back and forth after the game. It was magnificent. Just all of the Eagles fans that were, just seeing Gilly after the game, it brought a smile to my heart. It really did. And to do it in Philly just makes it that much sweeter. It just makes it that much better. So appreciate you guys. Tell the Cowboys we said hello in Cancun. We're on to bigger and better things.
All right, Kevin, you've been very patient. We appreciate you. If you could, please deliver the memoriam for the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles in the end of this Super Bowl run.
I thought a lot and hard about this. Toddy mentioned that I came in, as a YN, screaming, belt to ass, all these other things. So I wanted to come on here and apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. You guys fucking stink. Let me tell you why you stink.
They fucking suck.
We all have women in our life. Kaz, I don't know if you have a woman in your life, but we all have women.
Yeah, I can keep them off me, bro.
If we told them we need 8 yards, you have 11 players, 4 receivers, and a running back. Draw up a route. None of them are going to call all streaks on a 4th and 8. None of them. They don't play football. They never played football. None of our women in our life, even our mothers, would ever draw a 4 verse with 8 yards. We needed 8 yards, and we had 4 verts. Okay? I had to get that out there. Kevin Patullo, a couple weeks ago when your house got egged, I felt bad. I don't give a shit. You need to put your house in the market, and you need to leave. We had a Super Bowl winning team, and we decided to hand that Super Bowl winning team to someone who's called not more plays than Shaun, than me, than Toddy, than Cass, than our mothers, than anybody in the comment section. But none of them called plays. We could have given the job to anybody, but we decided to give it to Kevin Patullo, who had just as much experience as the rest of us. Okay? Moving on. Second half possessions. 3 plays, 7-yard punt. 4 plays, 6-yard punt. 6 yards, punt. 10 plays, 23 yards, punt. 3 plays, 7 yards, punt. 8 plays, 32 yards, punt. Last series of the game. 10 plays, 44 yards, turnovers on downs. Dan Orlovsky said it the best. The Eagles ran 10 plays on their last series. 6 of those plays they ran previously in the game. Anybody with eyes would have known what the fuck was going to be drawn up. With everything on the line, you're going to come into a huddle and say, these 6 plays didn't work before, but I bet you they're going to work now. I bet you it's going to work now. They're not expecting the 4 route. They're not expecting the 4 streaks. Ladies and gentlemen, we ran the most hitch routes in wild card football history since 2000, since ESPN started keeping the stat.
They're better, bro. They're a better team.
No, I'm not done.
They're a better team.
7 drops. There was a tweet that went out there. Jaevon Jennings threw for 15 yards, and Jalen Hurts went 0 for 5. 4 of those 5 were drops. A.J. Brown, I would have respected you more if you went out there after the game and said, I fucked up. All game, all season, you were the first, excuse my language, you were the first nigga to run to a camera. Wherever it was pointed, you were the first man to run to a camera and say, you see, they're not getting me the ball. Everybody, they're not. I'm going to go on Twitch. I'm going to go on IG. I'm going to go on Twitter. I'm surprised he didn't go on TikTok. He went everywhere to complain he was not getting the rock. We had 4 drops on 3rd down. Not only was that the most for the Eagles this season, it was the most in any playoff game since ESPN kept the stats of drop passes, and that was in 2006.
Nah, they're better than us, bro. Go ahead, talk your talk.
Like, what are we talking about? We have seen this movie over and over and over for 19 fucking weeks. And Kevin still came on here and said, we're going to beat the shit out of you guys. It had nothing to do with the Eagles. It's because Kevin is Kevin. I'm going to say that next year when we play you guys, I'm going to play the year after. No matter when we play you guys, I'm going to say we're going to put belt to ass because this was horseshit. As a fan, I don't even know what I watched. It got to a point this season where when we would go empty, I say, babe, it's a quarterback draw. Kevin, how do you know that? Alyssa, how do you not know that? Have you not been watching for 19 weeks? We know what's coming. They know what's coming. I stand on this. Any significant other, any friend that we know, I'm willing to bet that Blue could have drawn up a better play. 4th and 8. Blue don't got no thumbs. 4th and 8. We only need 8 yards. And we ran 4 streets. We got our all-pro guy not catching passes. We got Saquon dropping passes. We got Smitty dropping passes. With all that being said, I'm going to quote a guy I thought I would never quote in my life.
Oh, my God.
Le'Veon Bell went to Twitter after the game. If you've ever seen your team win a Super Bowl, a Stanley Cup, an NBA championship, or a World Series, you are blessed. Every Niner fan that's not 50 hasn't seen shit. You've never seen this. You've never seen confetti fall down that's your color. Never in your life.
Got the props.
You never fucking will. I have Michael Phelps motherfucking swimmers in my DMs talking all day. Kevin, we have 5. You have 2. You, not only were you not even a sperm cell in your dad, you weren't even a fucking thought. You weren't even a thought in your dad's mind to say, I'm going to have a kid named Toddy. I'm going to have a kid named Shaun. I'm going to have a kid named James. You know why? Because he was in 3rd grade watching it for himself on black and white television. Google wasn't even invented the last time you won a Super Bowl. We all go to Google for all of our stats every week, and Google wasn't invented. There was no social media. The last time they won something, we were all extinct. There was no cable. You had to watch the games back. You couldn't even watch the Super Bowl live. You had to TiVo it. What are we talking about? You see these 2 jerseys behind me? You guys will never, ever, ever see anything like this in your fucking life. And I love you guys to death, but I need this to be understood. James, Shaun, Toddy, you guys would kill to beat Kevin Dent. Marcellus changed his name to I Am Marcellus Dent. You guys would wish to have 2 Super Bowls. You would wish. But all you guys do is collect sweatsuits. We went over the lineup of Super Bowl performances. That your Super Bowl coach of the year, all we talk about, Shakira, J-Lo, Usher, Beyonce. He's opening a vintage sports store with all the sweatsuits. He's not winning shit because he can't win shit. So for all you guys saying I'm taking him over Nick Sirianni has a ring. Nick Sirianni's not going nowhere, and we're going to be fucking back because you know what? Fucking champions, you've never seen one of these. You buy merch for losers. You support fucking losers. I'm done.
Oh my God. That crash out was beyond legendary.
Oh my
Perfect.
God.
Chef's kiss.
I
Oh,
cannot,
Couldn't have said
I
it
cannot, Kevin, that was highly entertaining. The comments absolutely loved it. Everyone ate that up. That was tremendous content right there. I mean, shit. It
How do you follow that up?
Was that Kevin A. Smith right there? Like, man, that was legendary.
That was
I give you
110%
kudos.
improv too, bro. That was no script. Bars.
I mean,
straight bars.
And the
Marcelo-
last thing I want to say, I'm going to give you guys 4 plays, and I want you to tell me what we did. 2nd and 18, 2nd and 14, 2nd and 12, 3rd and 20. Can we guess what the Eagles did?
4 verts.
They ran the ball.
They ran the ball.
Kevin Buttillo, I hate that your name is Kevin. I hate that your name is Kevin.
Who's
Yeah,
the
it sure is.
who's the OC for the what if they run back Patullo next year?
That's not happening. There's
That's
no
not-
way.
So you're not
No,
the first
I'm
person
pretty
that
sure
asked
that
you
there'll be murders.
Somebody
That
at work
happens.
said, Kevin, if you woke up and they said Kevin Buttillo has been resigned or has re-signed a contract, I think I'd be done. I think I would just watch football. I don't think I could sign up to watch this shit again. Maybe Jalen Hurts is not elite. Have you guys ever known a quarterback to drop back, block, throw the ball, and catch it? I mean, shit.
This
Like,
man,
I
this
went over the
man, Jalen
numbers.
Hurts is fucking
Ain't been
breaking
this many
fucking
times
palms
since
with
ESPN
balls.
started counting the stats.
He's
The
throwing
most
balls,
hits-
hitting right in the
The
palms.
most hitch routes in wild card history. The first Super Bowl was in the 1920s. We ran the most hitch routes in NFL history in the wild card.
Oh my
So
God.
you know what, Robert Saleh? Congratulations. You beat a JV offense, and you know what? Quinyon Mitchell, I forgot to say this. Besides, if you would have just showed up in the first fucking drive, we win that game. Toddy mentioned, I don't even know his name. Oh, DeMarcus Robinson, 100 yards. 75 of those came on the first drive.
Oh, guess who was guarding him on that play?
Quinyon fucking Mitchell. I was telling Lissa, I need to burn this fucking jersey because this is a disgrace. All right,
He was dancing
Shaun.
on him, too. He was
Go ahead. It's all yours.
Kevin, is
But
there
I'm with
anything
you,
else that
Kaz.
you want to get off your chest?
Fuck Santa Clara and fuck the Niners because they would
Fuck
wish to
them,
be
bro.
us.
They don't believe that shit. They know. They don't
hate
believe
us
that
'cause
shit.
They ain't us.
No, you don't believe that shit, guys. Go ahead, Shaun.
Hate us because you ain't us. You right. We not y'all. We win Super Bowls. You guys collect sweatsuits and tickets to halftime performances. Todd, you would kill to see Beyonce front row. Shakira, J-Lo, Usher. You would, Shaun, if you told Allie you had front row at Beyonce, she'd give you a fucking child. You understand that?
Oh my God.
That's what Kyle Shanahan did. He probably has pictures in his phone. Like this with Usher. All right, Shaun, I'm done now. I promise. It's all you.
Oh, man.
That was absolutely legendary. I loved every single part of that. Maybe I should have started this segment because I'm almost speechless after that. Like, that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. I loved every part of that, especially when, Jaevon, we heard the losers say that we're losers. That was crazy.
No, I didn't say you were losers. I say you are the shit that I wipe my ass with. That's what I said you were.
You said we were losers. You said that there at the end, but you know, we can also be the shit that you wipe your ass with. I got some dude wipes if you need them. Highly helpful.
Give him to Kyle Shanahan because he always shits himself in the big game.
Ooh. Well,
he might need it more than me.
We'll have to circle back on that, as everyone likes to say via email when the new year starts. Hey, just circling back to what we were talking about from last year. But Jaevon, I wish you didn't have to step away. I know you got father duty to attend to as the resident pod father, but Jaevon, right now, I hope he's listening because he's missing out on our favorite song here every year. Cry, Eagles, cry.
Because we're Super Bowl champs and the Niners don't have any. Shaun's never seen a Super Bowl in his life. Hit him low, hit him high. All right, now I'm done. I didn't like that, by the way, so I had to interrupt. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I will keep running it back until I can get this out. But Toddy's back now, so it's cool. Jaevon, I was just saying how it was unfortunate that you had to step away for a moment just because you were missing our favorite song, and so we shall run it back because, oops, that's the pop quiz. Oops, bad producer error on my part. Kevin got me fragile. Cry, Eagles cry, on the path to misery. Cry, Eagles, cry. You know, when we did this a couple years ago, when the Eagles lost the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I had a whole rendition and everything, but I'm just going to leave it at that. It's cry, Eagles, cry on the path to misery. E-G-O, Egos, because they're the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Wasn't even your joke. How dare you steal that joke?
Now, I stole that shit, and I'm giving credit where it's deserved, as we highlighted the comment earlier. Now I'm scrolling back up just to try and highlight it. I think it was from Cousin Marcellus who said that with the Philadelphia Egos. But I loved every single part of it. Getting to just my thoughts on this game, I got a lot of stats for you guys, but before we get to those, I mentioned at the top how George Kittle goes down in the second quarter. I thought that he just sprained his ankle. The first zoom in I saw on him was when he was holding his right leg, and it looked like he was holding his ankle. He was apparently holding his Achilles, because as you could see in the replay, his calf popped and he had a devastating injury at that point. And I was absolutely heartbroken, because George Kittle is the heartbeat of this team. And this 49ers organization has dealt with nonstop injuries for years, dating back to the 2019 season when they made their second Super Bowl run in this century and they lost to the Chiefs for the first time. And it continued on to this season. But the thing that I told both of you, I told all of you, but I directed it at Kaz and Kevin last week, is the thing about this 49er season that's different is they continue to find a way. Time after time, somehow, some way, they find a way. George Kittle goes out with an absolutely devastating injury. He's done for the season. He'll probably be done for half of next season. But what happened on the next play? They complete a 45-yard pass from Brock Purdy to, I believe it was to Robinson. And at that point, I wasn't even happy about it. I was like, great. I'm glad that they had a nice play for George, but we just lost one of our best players. Add him to the list. We have lost player after player on this 49ers team, but yet they still somehow find a way. And Kaz and Kevin, whether if you want to give the 49ers credit for winning this game, or as Kaz said it before the show started, the Eagles lost them this game, and it had nothing to do with the 49ers. It had everything to do with the Eagles handing them a victory. However you want to frame it, the 49ers that had been decimated. Like last week, Kevin was saying how, if you guys were at full strength, it'd be a different story. I would actually be concerned about this team, but you're not that team. I'm not concerned about them. The Eagles are going to win. You guys said that all so definitively last week, but the 49ers continue to find a way. And that's why I picked them to go to the Super Bowl again this year. Probably my pessimism shined the most when I said they're going to get all the way to the Super Bowl again just to collect another sweatsuit, Kevin. And then they're going to lose to Josh Allen and the Bills because this is his best opportunity. But to get that far, they have to continue to find a way throughout the postseason. Last week, Kaz was just saying postseason football is different. And it is. But when the 49ers are matched up against a team like the Eagles, who to me, I felt like the Eagles were frauds coming into this game. You can blame Kevin Patullo. You can blame whoever you want. Blame A.J. Brown. The Eagles are frauds, and they proved that in this game. If the 49ers didn't win it and the Eagles lost it, doesn't that just reemphasize the point that the Eagles are fraudulent? Like, credit to you. You won the Super Bowl last year. You did it in dominant fashion. You got your get back. Congratulations. No one can ever take that away from you for life. Kevin, you'll have those jerseys hanging up there collecting dust. No one can take that away from you for life. But this Eagles team this year is different. Last week, I highlighted the loss to the Cowboys. When you 21 skunk them and you still find a way to lose that game, you get doubled up by the lowly Giants, who were competing for the first pick again this year until they won their last two games of the season in typical Giants fashion, where they have an absolutely dreadful season. And then when the first pick is on the line, they decided to start winning. But before it got to that point, they beat the Eagles and they beat the shit out of them. The 49ers did not put belt to ass. I said last week, if the 49ers win this game, it's going to be a close one, which is exactly what it was. Whether if you want to give credit to the Eagles for losing this game and it had nothing to do with the team that was on the opposing sideline, or you want to give respect to where it's due for the team that beat yours, you can frame it however you want. But the 49ers are still playing, and the Eagles are joining the Cowboys in Cancun. And so, hey, man, I wanted to get to some stats. So, Kyle Shanahan, when you look at where head coaches rank in 49ers history for playoff wins, the great Bill Walsh and George Seifert, 10 wins apiece. Kyle Shanahan now has 9. I get it. Those guys won multiple Super Bowls. Kyle hasn't won a single one yet, but he's cementing his legacy in 49ers history. So anytime someone says, oh, they should fire Kyle Shanahan, that is the most ignorant thing I've ever heard, because he's a top 3 coach in the NFL. The only reason why I don't say he's the best coach in the NFL is because he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring yet. Yeah. And I'm taking him over Nick Sirianni all day, every day. That's why Eagles fans are already saying, just as I highlighted in the group chat,
Eagles fans would pray for Kyle Shanahan. Absolutely
pray. To be winless and to see Shakira?
Pray. They would swap him for Sirianni in a heartbeat. 2 seconds.
We talked about it in the group.
Paint.
We talked about.
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything.
Okay,
your coordinators win everything for you.
Shaun, I'll let you go. I'll let you go before I get on this winless, never seen a Super Bowl guy in my life. I'll let you finish.
So as we talked about in the group chat, Mina Kimes was talking about on her podcast how her mother-in-law, who is an Eagles fan, said, and I quote, "We have fired a Super Bowl winning head coach before, and we'll do it again." That's how the Eagles fans feel about the guy who brought them.
Don't make her Eagles fan. Just say a Eagles fan. Don't put all of us.
Kevin, you might be. Kevin, you might be an anomaly.
Stepmom. Doug Peterson was 4-11-1. Shaun, that's why he was fired.
Okay, well, Kevin, you might be an anomaly, but I feel like many other Philadelphia Eagles fans feel that way. Maybe all the hate's going to Patullo, and then when Patullo's gone and somehow it doesn't work again next year, then maybe they're going to come for Nick Sirianni. But getting to some other stats, we talked about Jaevon Jennings and how he was a highly ranked quarterback coming out of high school, and he wanted to transition into being a wide receiver at Tennessee. You look at career playoff passing touchdowns, Justin Herbert has 2. Jaevon Jennings has 2. So good job, Justin Herbert. You look at Brock Purdy and how many playoff wins he has. He now has the same amount as Jared Goff, Joe Burrow, Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham. And he has more playoff wins than Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, Joe Namath, and Matt Ryan.
We just name dropped Cam Newton on a fucking podcast. We have hit rock bottom. Wow.
I'm reading the list.
Comparing him to Justin Herbert's stats, who has as many playoff wins as us.
We're not going to talk Cam Newton. We're not doing that. That's a whole nother.
I'm just saying we can talk. I'm just saying.
Cam Newton.
You have to climb to the bottom of the abyss of stats to pull that one out.
As Scott Casimir said
on Twitter, Cam Newton on his podcast.
Yeah, we will. Scott Casimir said, technically, Brock Purdy has won every playoff game except for the 2 where he was injured on the first drive and couldn't throw, and he left the field with an overtime lead in the Super Bowl and never saw the ball again. You look at the 49ers, who are the number 6 seed in the NFC playoffs. They have now beaten each of the top 5 seeds this season. They won in Seattle week 1. They won at Levi's against the Bears in week 17. They beat the Eagles in Philly in the wild card game. They beat the Carolina Panthers at Levi's in week 12, and they beat the Rams in LA in week 5. The Niners have now beat every single team ranked above them in the NFC playoffs. So I don't know how much that's really a 6 seed. And the 49ers actually have the most playoff wins in NFL history now with 40. Yeah, they have 5 Super Bowl rings from 30 years ago to show for it. But the 49ers now have the most playoff wins in NFL history. So one last thing that I wanted to get to. Nick Sirianni, this is really interesting. Nick Sirianni is 4-0 against Sean McVay in his career. Nick Sirianni is 4-0 against Matt LaFleur in his career. Nick Sirianni is also 1-3 versus Kyle Shanahan in his career. So I guess when he matches up against the big dog, he shits the bed. So
The
I'm
big
not
dog with nothing to show. Yeah, let's move on. Jesus Christ.
I'm not done though. I need about another 6 more minutes because Kaz, I appreciate you for highlighting for me at the beginning of the podcast how my camera was pretty fuzzy. And the reason why my camera was so fuzzy is I had a lot of clips that I was trying to upload into the StreamYard system. They were buffering, they were loading, and they just wouldn't process. So some people would think, oh man, Kevin and Kaz, they got off easy. Shaun said last week he was going to clip what they're saying, and now he can't play it because StreamYard is freezing. Oh, no.
They should have just screen recorded it.
Well, as cousin Marcellus said, roll the clip, Shaun. So I'm going to put myself on the big screen, and I have a backup, which is my iPad. And so I'm rolling the clips.
Your thoughts on this upcoming matchup?
And I'm going to unblur my screen.
Your defense is without Fred Warner, without just get them ready. Just get them ready. You guys are going to show up. You have Brock Purdy this time. You're not on your third or fourth string quarterback or whoever it was a couple years ago. Okay, you got CMC who's still playing lights out. Kittle's going to be fine. He's going to be healthy, but just get these excuses ready. The Niners will not beat us. I'm not saying this to be an egotistical, wild, just a Homer Eagles fan. What I'm trying to say is, like I mentioned before the show started, that the Eagles are playing their best football right now, and we're still not playing complete football. Our defense is going to play lights out. Our offense, they're going to make significant leaps forward when it comes to the playoffs in comparison to where we are at in the regular season. And here's why. We're healthy. You look at the Eagles. Just what are your...
All right. Clip number 1. On to clip number 2, Exhibit B.
For the visual audience, could you just play the sound? Because it's blurry as shit. Just play the sound.
It's blurry even though I unblurred my screen?
Yeah.
It's not terrible, but yeah.
This Eagles.
Maybe scoot it back.
At the right time.
There you go. No, it's perfect.
We've been waiting for it, and I've learned that when it comes to being a good football team, and I mentioned this before, I think on the podcast a while back, but when you haven't had success for a long time, you kind of look at the game differently. Well, now it's the Eagles' time. We are the face of the NFL. This is our league. Whether people want to believe it or not, whether you think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback, top 5 quarterback or not, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. We already got the best of the Chiefs. It's an Eagle world right now. We're the most hated franchise right now, and it's not just because of the fandom, and not just because of who we are as a team. It's because we're good. When you're good, you end up getting that. I call it the Patriots Tom Brady hate, where it's like you hate us because you ain't us, and it's here, and it is what it is. What you guys don't understand is this Eagles
Exhibit C.
Last time we played them, everyone wants to think about the playoffs, the NFC Championship game. Last year on our 100th episode, one of my worst takes was we were going to beat them 42-7. I don't remember what the score was, but it was very much the opposite
42 to 19. 42 to 19.
Very much the opposite way. I was very far in between. So I'm going to come on here and humbly say we're going to beat the shit out of the Niners. I'm not taking the humble route. I was very far in between. So I'm going to come on here and
I had to circle back.
Say we're going to beat the shit out of the Niners. I'm not taking
one more time.
So I'm going to come on here and humbly say we're going to beat the shit out of the Niners. I'm not taking the humble route. I'm coming on here to say last time you guys played us, there was a guy named Quez Watkins. You probably don't even know who Quez Watkins is. We
don't care about Quez Watkins. On to number D. Letter D.
I think Nick Sirianni sat our guys because he wanted this matchup. He wanted to come in here and say, we want San Francisco. Can we go beat the Packers? Of course. We own them.
but this is the game that will start another Super Bowl run.
Will it?
Because all people are talking about is the last time they played us. You know, we're doing warm-ups and they're running through our warm-up line. They're punking us. From the jump, the Niners said, fuck you guys, we're going to come in here and win this game. We are no longer that team.
Are you?
This is a team that is healthy. We're firing on all cylinders. We got Nakobe Dean back. Cass mentioned we're getting Lane Johnson back. This is the first year in James or King Paston.
Clip number 5.
I'm not scared of you guys because if you guys were healthy, I feel like this would be a different conversation. But as of all of us being athletes, we understand what a gut punch feels like. And I don't know how you guys are going to react after that. Even
Quite well.
Shanahan said it, you know, it really sucks. You know, we were expecting to have 2 home games, and, you know, just like that, just like Shaun said, you know, you go from competing for number 1 to being a 6 seed. They have the better record. I mean, they did play the tight ends and the Colts, and, you know, we don't have to go over their weak record, weak scheduling. You know, the word at the beginning of the season, they have not scared of you guys. We're going to do exactly what Seattle did to them. Seattle
got one more after this.
Defense, we're number 5. They give up 14 points a game. We give up 19. This defense is a Super Bowl caliber defense. So we're going in with this mindset is all we have to do is score 21 points.
Not quite.
3 touchdowns. And yes, I get it. You know, there's games, all the games that you look at that we lost, I feel like are anomalies. You know, world season high rushing yards for the Bears. You know, 262 yards. We're going to
Last one.
They're the number 6 seed, despite all the injuries, and it's because they continue to find a way. And in this game, I feel like, I mean, Kaz, you gave the 49ers a little bit of credit. I didn't hear shit from Kevin, and I'm going to go back and clip things that you guys have said, and you can me. I'm going to go back and clip what both of you said after this game, and I'm going to put it out all over social media because okay, I won't because the Eagles are going to win, right?
Yep.
But the overall point is they're the number 6 seed.
All right.
We're
done with that now. Thank you all for sitting through the cinema that I enjoyed very much. Kaz said I wouldn't clip it. I clipped them. And so thank you guys for giving me the material. I appreciate it.
You're funny, bro. You're funny.
Yeah, you know, I
It's a
thought technical
parade in the
difficulties.
city
That was y'all
every
talking
time they
about.
beat the Eagles.
Yep.
I wonder.
Man, I thought that technical difficulties were gonna get me down, but they didn't. They didn't. Freezing cold takes, cold world. You know, I appreciate you guys for giving me the material because now I got to post those on social media as well. But I wanted them to make their debut on the podcast, and so that's all I got for this segment when it comes to recapping the 49ers beating the Eagles 23-19, ending their Super Bowl run. But that was fun. Toddy, it's on to another week because as Kevin said yesterday, I didn't clip this part, but as Kevin said last week, it's just another week. This is nothing to us. It's just another week. It's the beginning of our Super Bowl run, part 2. Kevin was talking about a 3-peat when they hadn't even got to the repeat.
God,
I know, Kevin. The Niners haven't even won it once. I get it.
As long as you know.
I get it. I am well aware. But it's crazy to look ahead to a 3-peat when you haven't even repeated. And now,
I mean, in order to win a 3-peat, you got to win 1.
Yep, we sure do. And that starts next month. So we appreciate you all for bearing with us through the visit through the freezing cold.
So before we move on, Shaun, you
Yeah.
sat there for 10 minutes and went at my pride. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give you however much time you want. I'm willing to bet you however much money you want that you guys will not go win a Super Bowl. However, if we can do 20, we can do 5. I just want you to know at some point you're going to send me your money and we're going to, just like you did, I'm going to run back to these clips. And we're gonna have that. So we don't have to do $100 because you know you're Cuban Link Shaun now. I get it. You got the money. So whenever you want to run me that cheese because last week you were scared to bet me. So let's see if you put your tail between your legs again because you said, "Oh, I got cash." Toddy, you bet Kevin. So let's see what you got. Put your money where your mouth is, big dog.
You saw the predictions. I got the Niners losing in the Super Bowl. So why would I bet on something that I know isn't going to happen? You saw the predictions.
Cal, did you ever say another team was going to win the Super Bowl? I think that's what they call loser mentality.
That's what Shaun trying to do. Or Kevin's just he's
Tell
trying
me-
to rage bitch.
Tell me someone who thinks their team's going to lose.
He's
I'll
trying
tell
to
you
rage
a
bitch you in
loser.
real life. Don't
But
do
all
it.
right,
Kevin-
all that being said, we got 30 minutes left. Let's move on.
Kevin, since you want to tell me that I have a loser mentality, I'll just remind you that I was a journalism major in college and I learned how to be unbiased because I would like to pursue this for a career. And so to be a good journalist, you have to be objective and unbiased. And so even though I got all the merch on right now, I'm also a realist and I'm unbiased.
And I'm happy that you're a realist that the Niners aren't going to win.